Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. Or should I say, today is all about Brandon Day. Now, Brandon, he went through and boy, I got to tell you, he came through again and mailed us another package. What in the world are you thinking, Brandon? Crazy guy. Anyways, we love that you're such a supporter of the show. You've been from the very beginning. We really appreciate that. But he sent over some goodies. In fact, I have a little box right here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what he sent over. Are you ready? All right, let's get the camera turned around and let's go. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's see what we have here. Brandon sent over a bunch of sockets. I haven't even really gone through them. Now, Brandon, he did call and he said, hey, go ahead and open up the box. I'm going to talk to you about some of the stuff in there. And now Brandon has been waiting for a while because this thing came in the mail, my goodness, like 30, 45 days ago. So Brandon, thank you so much for your patience as we get going here. But notice this one is a Thorsen 15/16. Now, Brandon happened to remember that I do have some Thorsen. I think you may have caught on to that as we got going in some past videos. It's a 13/16. I think this whole bag is Thorsen, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a 7/16, another Thorsen 1 1/8. Let's see if we can kind of get these bad boys in order here. Let's see what else we have. This one here is a 7/8. So we'll put that one just right there. This one here is a 1 inch, I think. Yeah, 1 inch. So we'll put that there. Probably this one's 1 and something, 1 1/16. So we'll scoot that one just right over there, just like that. And look at that, we're forming a set. Check that out, 9/16. So that one would go there, and then let's see if this one maybe is a 1/2 inch. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, 1/2 inch. All right. So there's what we got. We got some Thorsen. Man, check you out, Brandon. Sent us over some goodies as far as some sockets are concerned. Well, he didn't stop there. He got some more for us. Let's kind of look through some of these and see what they are. So this one is a Craftsman, and this one is a double line V, 3/8 drive and a 13 millimeter. Man, that's a metric 13 double line V. Those are harder to come by, guys. I don't know if you maybe run across them in your area, being plentiful, but for here, not so much. And this is a nice right. Look at that. Wow. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, that chrome on there is still beautiful in it. All right, so we got that. In fact, I might scoot these back just a little bit because we got a few things that he sent over in this box. So let me kind of get this rearranged for just a moment. But that's a right. That's a Craftsman. Let's see what this is here. This looks like an impact. And so 3/4 inch. And it may not even have a name on it. But that's okay because it's a 6-point. I go through and I have a little box that I've been kind of collecting those in, and I can build a little set out of a no-name set. And so here's another Craftsman 1/4 inch. So this is a G1. So there's that. This looks like an Indestro or a Wizard or something like that. Yeah, Indestro. And so 15/16. So that's cool. Another impact socket. 7/8. So we got two right over here that are impact. Hey, we got another impact. Check that out. So this one is a Williams. Man, that's cool. And so Williams 9/16 1/2 inch drive. So love that. Man, that's killer. That'll go in our Williams drawer. Let's see what this one is here. So Chrome X quality is this one here. And I have a little bit of that. I don't talk about it much because I don't run across it that much. And then the last thing that I have on the table here, a Proto Los Angeles. Check that out. A swivel extension. Wow, that bad boy is tough. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, let's see here. He did send over a few more sockets. Let's see what these are. This one came on a little rail. Let's see if we can bust one out real quick and see what it is. So SK. So this one's an SK. I wonder if all of these are SK. And so another SK. So cool. Let's see if we can just hold up the rail here. Yeah, they look like they're all the same. And so they're all SKs. And little 1/4 inch drive set. So that's pretty bad to the bone, right? So that's cool. Let's see here. Now notice this one. Now Brandon, remember, I don't know if you remember, now if you're newer to the channel, Brandon has been an awesome contributor here, but he goes to the Restore store and he picks up different goodies. Well, this particular person donated some sockets here, and they actually put them in a bag and kept them all together. That was one of the things that Brandon and I were talking about here. And so let's see what he sent over. I forget, it's been a little bit since we talked. And so when I get rid of this bag and then we start putting this in order here, let's see what we have. Let's look at this one. Oh, yeah. I remember now. Check this out. Bonnie. Wow, look at that. And so we got this Bonnie that is, what did I say it was? I didn't even say. But Bonnie and 7/8. This looks like the next one. Let's see if this is a Bonnie. No, this is something different. This is Truth. And actually, I have a video coming up on some Truth. Have you guys ever heard of that? Do you guys collect that? Do you guys have that? Well, I picked up a set that's just been sitting around for months and months. I need to dig it out. So that is going to be a great find for me. Let's see what this one is here. Another Bonnie. So this kind of goes right in this collection over here. This one is an SR. Now, I forget what the SR stands for, but I have a ratchet that's SR, and I have maybe one or two sockets that's SR. And so if you remember, I'll try to remember to look it up while we're editing the video. But if you remember what that is, or if you have some, please put that in the comments. So that'll kind of help me understand how popular it is. Here's another Bonnie. So this Bonnie is 7/16. And then let's see here, another Bonnie, a 1/2 inch. So we don't have a complete set, but my goodness, check those out. Man, that is good looking. And so I love that. All right, so we got some Bonnies going on over here. So cool. Thank you so much, Brandon. We love that part there. So really appreciate that. Let's see here. Let's dive into some wrenches. So Brandon sent over some miscellaneous wrenches of all sorts. So let's kind of take a look and see what we have here. And so we'll just kind of lay these off to the side. So this one here is an SK. It's a metric 18 combination wrench. And so that's cool. We have some SK stuff. Check this out, another SK combination. This is the C20 though, so SAE 5/8. And then this one is another. Now this was SK Tools though, and so this one is a 17 millimeter, it looks like. And so that's another metric, a little bit different one, but it's another metric. Let's see, another SK number 13, so combination. So that'll go right over here as well. Let's see what this one is. Another SK. This one's SK Tools though, combination 5/8. So that'll go right there. Let's see what this one is here. This is a Craftsman. Brandon went through and sent over a 3/8 inch combination. But my goodness, this sucker's clean. Look at that. Wow. 6-point. Oh, check that out. That's a 6-point Craftsman. Man, I'm glad I looked at that. All right, so we're going to put that one right over here. Check this out. It's an Indestro Super, and so it's a double open. And so as we go through and look at it, this is a 5/8 inch on this side and 9/16 on this side. Does need to be cleaned up a little bit, but man, that goes in our industrial drawer. So that'll be neat. And let's see here. He sent over this one, and so it's a Barcolo. And so this is a 7/8 inch combination. You know, part of what we were talking about, notice how it has that little scoop. Wow, check that out. And so that is something that some people really go after. But the reason why we're talking about it is because this wrench reminds me, this is the reason why we jumped on a call. It reminded him and me so much of the Mac. And so remember the Precision Torque set that I got at a garage sale one time, and so it reminded us so much of that. All right, and then from there we have a Crescent adjustable wrench, and so this Crescent that we have here, is pretty clean, except for it looks like the jaws are kind of at an angle a little bit. Let's see, yeah. So, but that's all right though. It'll still clean up. We'll still keep it for the sake of history, and kind of go from there. So that's cool. Might be able to fix that actually, but that's what we have there. Let's see here. The next one that we have is an SK Wayne. And so this SK Wayne is a 6-point that we have. And so combination. So that is neat as all get out. And 12 millimeters. So we got a number of SK stuff here. My camera, I bumped it. So let me straighten that out real quick. All right. So from there, let's see here. We got this one. And this one says Vitaloy. So I think that's probably a Billings. And so, yeah, it's a Billings. And then we can see Billings there and Billings over here, made in the USA. So I do have some Billings I've been collecting and building out that drawer slowly, but it's coming. This is a Crescent, and this is a Crescent USA, I believe. Yeah, Crescent USA. And so notice how it has that little indented area there for 3/4 inch, and it also has that scoop. Man, check that out. Where's that other one? So we have this one. This is a little bit different. But they both have that scoop that is there, so that's kind of cool for that. And then this one here is another Barkalow. Man, this is a good size wrench. Check that out. And so this one is a 1 1/8 inch wrench combination. And so put that in the bath and clean that bad boy up. So man, love that. The last one that we have here, I'm not sure. Let me see what this says here. I'm thinking it says plum. And I'm thinking I'm right. Check that out. We got a double open end plum. So cool. Man, you know we love some plum around here. And so 3/4, 5/8, I believe. And so, wow. Throw that in the bath, do a little bit of wire wheel on that bad boy. We're building out that plum drawer. It's coming alive, right? So can't wait to give you an update. And I've been thinking about that. I think we're going to do the update and kind of show you how the collection has grown from 1 year ago on our anniversary, which is coming up in November. And so just a few months away. Here's another Crescent. And so maybe, yeah, so look at that. So we got the big brother, the baby brother on the Crescents here. So love that. Man, that's cool. All right, so we got that one there. Let's see here. He sent over another wrench. But I happen to love this one. This is a snap-on, as you can see here. And so when we look at that snap-on, that's cool. But the only difference, the only thing is, on this snap-on is two things. It says 3/8, and it has a W. And so this would be a snap-on that is used as a different measurement, because obviously that's not a 3/8 inch drive. I think it's at Whitworth. Am I thinking that correctly? But not only that, but check this out. Man, somebody was cranking on this bad boy. Man, look at that. Look at that, man. That, or they bent it on purpose that way so they can have something at an angle. Who knows? I don't know, but you know what? We're going to use this in our example of modified tools. And so Brandon seen that, and he thought of us, and we're creating those collections, that collection of tools that people have modified through the years, and we're going to add that to that. Man, that's probably like one of my favorite snap-on wrenches I ever seen. So cool. All right, let's see. He sent over an extension, and so on this extension there was a socket, incidentally, I didn't recognize before. And so another Thorsen. Hey, check that out. And so I think this is our Thorsen area, but that's 3/8 inch. And then what is this one here? As far as the extension, this is an industrial super. Man, look at that. What is that? A good 12, 13 plus inches? Something like that. In fact, let me grab my tape measure here. Let's measure it out, because I want to say, no, it's 12. Yeah, just 12. And so 12-inch extension, 3/8 inch drive, industrial super, with the double opening on this for the top. Man, you can put a rod in there and use it for a T-handle if that's what you want. So that's cool. All right, so we got that. And then he sent over, check this out, this little tiny breaker bar. It's a little Husky with the long H. Wow, love that. Man, I do collect some long H Husky. It's a vintage Husky that way. Man, this one is killer. And so it says made in the USA. So that's part of the reason why I collect it, but also because of the long H. It kind of reminds me a lot of the long C for the Craftsman stuff. So there's that. Speaking of Craftsman, check out this little L breaker bar that we have here. Man, has that double line on it, has the 1/2 inch anvils on each side. Man, that is cool. I do not have that for whatever reason. And I think that is a find. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. All right. We got a couple ratchets here that he sent over. So let's look at this one. So remember all this Thorsen? Check it out. He sent over the matching ratchet. Or a ratchet that's Thorsen as well. So it's a Thorsen 77. Now this one here has that open head, but you also see it now with the dust cover. And this is something that you don't always find. Man, that sucker sounds good, doesn't it? And so flip it over the other way. Yeah, it sounds really good. Nice and clean and free. But if we were to pull this off, then you would see the gear underneath it. But this kind of keeps all the oil, grease, dust, all that kind of junk out of it. And so this one's pretty clean, actually. And so, man, Brandon, thank you. I want to lay that just right up here. Oh, my goodness, look at that. Wow, beautiful. Well, he sent over another ratchet. And so check this one out. Now, you may have seen on one of our last videos, I did some cleaning. Well, I forgot that Brandon sent me one of these too. Man, look at that. It's a Craftsman BE with the long C all the way to the end here. And it has this push through where the anvil goes through. My goodness. Look at that. And now if you wanted to kind of get a comparison of what that other one looked like, it was very much just like this. Although there is one difference. Notice this one says off and this one says on. And so, in fact, let me grab that one that I just cleaned up and I'm going to show you the difference that way, side by side, and let's look at these together. So this is the one I cleaned up just a few videos ago. So pretty much it's the same thing, although this one does not have that stamping on it. And so for the off and on. And so, but that's how they looked. This one looked just like this one, I remember. And so very, very similar to that. Wow, look at that. I'm going to have fun cleaning this one up as well. So let's see if it works. Yeah, look at that. Man, that's killer. Killer. Love it. Man, that's going to shine right up just like that other one that we did. So Brandon, wow, what a find. Thank you so very much for that. All right, Brandon also sent over something else that I thought was pretty nice, and that is a screwdriver. Check this out. So it needs to be clean, but my goodness, it's a 3-inch #1 Phillips JCPenney. Wow, look at that. Man, love that. We're going to add that to our JCPenney department store drawer and be blinging. So get that bad boy cleaned up. All right. Well, that's what Brandon sent over with the exception of one more box. And so now I'm not talking a cardboard box. I'm talking about a blue box. Let me go grab it real quick. So Brandon, he was over at his hometown and he seen an ad, and this gentleman had this in the ad. And so he knows I collect some Giller. I've been trying to build that out just a little bit. He's seen it, and he went right over and he talked to the gentleman, and he was able to pick it up. Now the box needs to be cleaned up a little bit here, but perhaps you can see the box itself, Giller Tool Company, and so Dallas, Texas. And so, my goodness, that is a good looking box. And so as we go through, if you think that's a good looking box, well, for me it is, when we open it up, look at that. That's the way it came. Just like that. So while the box took a little bit of abuse, man, look at all this stuff. I'm kind of scared to touch it because my hands are all dirtied up. But my goodness, look at that. And so this thing is like brand new. And Brandon, if I'm missing part of the story, you tell us here. But my goodness, look at that. That is gorgeous, isn't it? Wow. So we got the shorter extension. We got the longer extension. So the CS25. Wow. Look at this. Literally, I mean, when you look at these sockets, my goodness. This is like a brand new set, 1.25 inches. I mean, literally, I kid you not. There's only one that has a little bit of discoloration, and it's this one here. But man, as far as the inside, I don't see that the inside of the socket is rounded off at all. And then the bottom here, look at that. Wow, I don't know if you can see that or not, but goodness, this is like a brand new set here. Look at this ratchet. Wow. Look at the knurling on here. Man. So here we are, a Giller 77C, made in USA. Now this one has that rounded head ratchet on here. Wow, look at that. And so you can just go through and flip it for the reverse, flip it back the other way. My goodness, this thing is sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So love that. Let's see what else we have in here. We have the breaker bar. Now notice it has a bunch of smudge, fingerprints or oil on it, but I mean, that'll clean up like nothing. By the time I give this thing a quick little bath, this bad boy is shining. Wow. So not only does it have that breaker bar, but it has a T-handle breaker bar as well. So look at that, the CS70. Man, Brandon, I can't even believe you found this in this condition. And that gentleman was kind enough to let you have it. And then we have the speeder handle on there as well. And then all these different sockets. And then we have the extension that's on here as well. Let's see, make sure it's a Giller. It is a Giller. Man, CS22. So that's in there. And so the guy put this paper in there to kind of protect the inside of the box. Now you can see how the inside, I haven't even wiped it down, but you can see my reflection on there. I wonder, it's probably just as clean underneath there. Wow, Brandon. Wow. I cannot even believe that. Man, I just want to pick them all up and just look at them. Look at that. Man. And I hope the camera's doing this justice. I really do. Wow, look at that. You can see all the marks from the factory where it came through, even on the inside where the anvil sits. Man, beautiful. Brandon, way over the top you did. This is gorgeous, Brandon. All right, folks, this is what we got. So Brandon sent over this and everything else that you've seen underneath it or prior to me putting this box on here. What do you think? Man, see, do you have a favorite? I don't know. You guys decide. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down. And then let me get the camera turned around and let's do some more talking. Let's close out the video. Wow, what do you guys think about that? Is that crazy or what? Man, Brandon, oh my goodness, Brandon, you've treated us way too kind around here. And I got to tell you, thank you, to your kiddos, because they've even sent some stuff over, and to your wife. And so just the opportunity of getting to know you guys, oh my goodness, it's just way over the top. So thank you. The honor is totally all mine. And so I really, really appreciate that. So what do you guys think? Did you have a favorite, by the way? I got to tell you, there was a lot of goodies in there. That whole Thorsen set, man, that is killer, isn't it? Wow, that is neat. That snap-on wrench, man, I don't know about you, but I get a kick out of that. Look at that. That big old bend over it like that. And so that's killer. So I love that. But probably if I would have narrowed it all down, oh my goodness. The fact that I went all this time and I never had one until just the other day when I cleaned it up, and now I got two, that is amazing to me. I love that. And then this Craftsman bar right here, man, check that out. Wow, that is nice, right? So I can't believe I never ran across one of those. But probably, can you tell? Probably that whole Giller set. Wow, look at the knurling on that, on the top of that lever switch right there. Man, this thing is beautiful. Look at that. Man, I can even see my reflection. Who's that good-looking guy over there? You're probably saying, and don't put it in the comments. Don't say you're ugly as a dog. Please don't say that. But my goodness, but look at that chrome though. Man, this thing is Wow, amazing. And then the whole set to be like that? Brandon, wow, that's my favorite, I think, out of everything you sent. But all of it is good though, right? And so, but you guys be the judge. Is there one that you like the most? If you do, put it in the comments, please. And tell Brandon how you did on this. And again, wow, Brandon, music to my ears. I love it, love it, love it. So thank you so very much. And friends, if this is your first time here, we do a lot of fun stuff like this. We discover old tools. We go out there and do tool hauls, tool finds, and bring them back to the channel. We're building collections, and one of these days we're gonna do our 1-year anniversary and just kind of show this whole thing off and see how we progressed over all the years. But until then, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, we'll see you on the next video.